What's the difference between news, like if I told you news, and I told you an opinion?
Former journalist Bill Rowe teaches video production at Shadow Ridge High School.
People can Photoshop photos.
This class is part of Clark County School District's Career Technical Education Program.
When you initially saw the story, you were skeptical.
Today's question and answer lesson is about news literacy, an area that isn't part of Nevada's mandated curriculum. But to Bill, separating fact from fiction is something that must be taught in a world of social media filled with bloggers and influencers.
If you start spreading false information, misinformation, it could become a much bigger thing.
His lesson is eye-opening for me as a journalist of 3 decades. How many of you watch a newscast on television? About a third of the class tells me they watch local news, but most of these students say they get their news from social media. What would be the difference between an influencer and a journalist?
I think an influencer has more of a maybe biased point of view, and a journalist is someone who's just giving you the facts.
Some of these students are aspiring journalists. That's why this classroom discussion is so critical. So much so, 19 states have taken some legislative action to promote media literacy education, yet only 8 require the curriculum in classrooms. Nevada is not one of them. Would you like to see that changed?
I think so. I think as this goes on and more of this misinformation spreads, or there's more of an emphasis on critical thinking and students thinking about stories the right way and finding the information, I think more states hopefully will put this as part of their curriculum.
Nevada lawmakers have talked about legislation like this in the past, but what would it look like? California has taken aim at the issue. The state has passed legislation requiring all students learn media literacy skills, such as how to evaluate social media sources, how to fact check where their information is coming from, as well as how to spot AI content and ads disguised as articles. According to a study conducted last year by the News Literacy Project, 94% of students agree media literacy should be taught in schools. And students like Tiffany Najari would welcome it.
I think it should be taught how to identify fake news and how to really understand like what you're seeing and seeing if there's a bias or anything of that sort, because my parents are on the older side. So I want to make sure that what they're seeing is correct and that they're not just believing anything that they see, because as my friend said earlier, a lot of people still believe that everything on the internet is true.
And senior Gabe Ramirez sums it up best after teacher Bill Rowe's lesson. Now that you have this information, are you using it and trying to educate others?
Yeah, I definitely 100% will, because it's a big world we live in, and information can get spread fast.
And everybody has to do their part.
Yep, because we're all one world.